What's up, y'all? This is the girl from Ocean Avenue, Kennedy Copeland, and you're listening to Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hello, and welcome to the show. It's Wrestling with Entertainment, bringing you the latest exclusive breaking news, previewing and reviewing the latest shows from WWE, AEW, New Japan, and everything in between. Every Saturday, interviewing all your favorite wrestlers on Wednesday on YouTube at Castbox, sponsored by Rogue Energy. Use promo code Wrestling with E for 10% off your next purchase. And of course, I am that guy, James J. Alongside the leader of Squash Squad, Kaliko Yas.
Drink of the day, Truly's, because it tastes like Alka-Seltzer, and I have a headache.
And the American Scooter Dust.
When life gives you lemons, make lemonade. When life gives you melons, you might be dyslexic.
And it's a great day for wrestling. Last week on the show we interviewed Kennedy Copeland, and honestly, what a great interview. Kennedy, such an incredible human being. And we got some great insight on her career and, give her that stage. You know what I mean? And we also learned about an event she's participating in as well. Could you maybe tell us a little bit more about that event, Scooter?
Yes, that is the mental health awareness soiree, as some are calling it, an event for basically to benefit the Trevor Project and the second floor hotline. Yes, Chad's Spectacular Soiree, awareness for mental health. H2O Wrestling Center, Williamstown, New Jersey, Sunday, May 2nd. Donation money goes to the winning team's charity, as well as a number of profits. Chad, being H2O's ring announcer, putting together a team to go up against my personal friend, Larry Legend, and his team. For Team Larry, of course, Kennedy Copeland, the first announced, along with Frankie Picard and Corinne Mink, against Team Chad's team of Stan Styles, Devin Moore, and the hardcore icon for the new generation, Jeff Cannonball. That's going to be brutal, and there's still one more person announced to come for each team, I believe. But either way, both charities are worthy of any donation. The Trevor Project and the Second Floor Hotline do great work, and I mean, there's not much else to say. Contact Chad Spectacular at Chad Spectacular on Instagram and or Twitter. Bryce Harris on Facebook. Tickets are only $15 if you're in the tri-state area. Come on down to Williamstown and support mental health awareness and get entertained at the same time.
Oh, absolutely. And even if you're not gonna be at the show or can attend or whatever, again, $15. Buy a ticket, support mental health. Everybody wins.
I'm also hearing that this may be a secret live stream on IWTV.
Oh, sweet. And
Can't confirm that.
I think we might be a little bit partial to Larry Legend's team as well. Definitely going to support Kennedy Copeland on that. Next week, Cinco de Mayo show. Mama Shango.
Sponsored by Hellman's.
Damn, we wish. Another great interview. Somebody that's not currently wrestling, but with a good reason not to be wrestling.
Say it correctly.
I'm not saying anything. All I'm saying is that Mama Shango might be living up to her name right before, maybe right after the interview debuts.
Yeah, she's our first parent to be.
Yeah.
And our first parent at all.
We haven't.
Our first.
I think we have some parents. Did we?
Dio had two daughters, I believe.
Theo has two daughters? Really?
That's what
He's young.
That's what he told us.
That's right. He did. Yes, he does. He does. I completely forgot. Yes.
What? Not somebody that was currently having a child while talking to us. So that's definitely.
Yeah, pregnant. Due any day now. Yeah, that part.
And of course, I lost money betting on if she would go into labor during the interview.
Yeah. Did not happen, unfortunately. That would have been cool if it did. So somebody that is not pregnant, Travis Huckabee will be on the show Wednesday, Wednesday, May 12th, a day before his birthday. So we caught him on a great day, didn't we, guys?
Yes, we absolutely did.
And
I hope he's not pregnant.
I mean, if he did, he's got $1 billion coming his way.
I know. Like, that would be some crazy genetic bending stuff right there.
And I always say this, it's a great interview. Some of our best road stories we've had on the show up until this point. No, guys?
Oh, he is literally littered with stories. Like, I feel like we should just pay him just to tell his story.
Then we'd be a literary agent in a publishing company.
Yeah, see? Didn't be. And that's when the big bucks start rolling in.
And celebrate the anniversary of and find out which My Hero Academia character Love Doug is. That is a great freaking story.
The greatest analogy
in wrestling and entertainment history.
Yes.
And May 19th, the anniversary of Undertaker and Kane's parents dying in that horrible fire, we celebrate with having Jules Malone on. Another incredible interview.
Well, I think we could sum it up in 2 words. Vagina staples.
Yes, stapled vaginas.
Yep. I don't think more needs to be said. Once again, Mama Shango coming up this Wednesday. If you're having your doubts on if you want to listen to the interview or not, don't take our word for it. Listen to this clip.
But one song in particular that gets me moving every single time I hear it, and apparently when I was younger, this was the song that used to make little Mama Shango at 2-3 years old get up and dance. Don't judge me, y'all. You ready?
Yes.
Never Gonna Give You Up. It's my song.
That is fantastic.
Yes. If I had to pick a song, yes, that's my life song right there. Never Gonna Give You Up.
But are you saying your whole life was a Rickroll though?
I mean, that sounds appropriate for Mama Shango.
Yeah, my life is a brick road.
and
That was a great clip, wasn't it, guys?
my God, it so great.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
And it's time to stop putting ourselves over and get into the news now. Andrade is making his first non-WWE wrestling appearance.
Oh,
And he's wrestling Alberto Del Rio. Talk about a downgrade.
yeah. To not wrestling girl to wrestling a convicted criminal.
That's a big teeter-totter, isn't it?
I mean, it's Texas. You can't get more Texas than that.
Well,
Yeah, and you know, the interesting part about this is you would think maybe Charlotte would stop him from doing this, considering Del Rio's a Patron, really, history with Paige.
Charlotte. Yeah. I totally forgot about that. I totally forgot.
wait a minute. Del Rio had a relationship with Charlotte?
Yes, Eskimo Brothers. Del Rio was dating. Yeah, there was a Paige and Charlotte was fighting over Del Rio.
I never knew
that. Del Rio was a pimp, man. Hey, whatever you say, he's criminal, but he's a Rico Suave criminal.
Yeah, they were in a relationship when he returned back in 2015, and then entered into a relationship with Paige, and we all know how that went.
Oh yeah. So maybe not the best way for Andrade to make his non-WWE return to the ring.
I mean, he's doing appearances too. He's at the wrestling guy's store today, to be exact, from 1 to 3. If you want to go meet him, El Idolo, at the wrestling guy's store, support those small businesses. But he's doing appearances and making his little money that way. And like I said, it's Texas.
In July.
Or Julio, as my Mex-Tex friends say. Not to be confused with Julio Jones, whose real name is Cantaris. I don't know how Julio comes in, but that's a whole nother story.
So, another thing on the news bracket was SummerSlam might actually have a live crowd. There was rumblings that some places were bidding to actually have it. And this is technically, well, it's kind of wrestling related. With the UFC having full capacity shows now, it kind of seems like WWE is kind of backtracking where they said, "Oh, we're going to wait until September, October, and kind of fast track it." So, Scooter, your thoughts on WWE possibly touring live again sooner more than later?
Well, considering that a lot of places are relaxing on the mask issue, I know New York City has relaxed a bit on the mask issue. Still recommended. It looks like it would be Phoenix or possibly even in Texas, just like next year's WrestleMania. As for touring, I mean that's always going to be up in the air because that's going to limit you really to certain places if their regulations haven't relaxed. I mean, I still don't understand why the WWE didn't just do house shows all over Florida.
Because you're going to attract the same crowd.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, me, I'm a pessimist in this case. I have a feeling this will get worse before it gets better. But I'm hoping that this leads to touring and house shows again. I mean that's all I could say. That's all I think anybody could say.
What about you, Kalika? You got more things to say?
Well, I kind of figured they were going to go do that, but I think it was going to be better off for the bigger shows because it makes sense for people to come to the bigger shows, right? Like, granted, UFC had UFC 261, but that felt like a big show, right? Like, I don't think their next fight, which is today, has a live crowd. So it's mainly for those things where it feels of importance, right? The draft is now getting a crowd back, so I don't see regular shows going back to that yet because different states, different laws, and you don't even want to have to deal with that. But I could see SummerSlam, Survivor Series, Royal Rumbles, those type of events where traditionally it felt important. And honestly, I think that would be better for a show like Survivor Series because it feels like Survivor Series kind of be like on the afterthought. So for Survivor Series to have that crowd, I think it would make more sense, especially if they keep it in a sunny area where people can migrate from the cold. So we'll see where it goes. But I kind of figured they were going to do SummerSlam. So doing the Big Four, I'm all for it.
Somebody that is trying to go all in right now, AEW is going to have a 50% capacity for the Wednesday show, Blood and Guts. Is this maybe too much too soon, or do you think they could do it safely without issues, Scooter?
They could probably do this without issue. I mean, they have the space to do so. So, yeah, they're gonna take advantage of it and see what 50% capacity does. If 50% capacity ends up, with no doesn't end, turns out, well, I guess we can't call them super spreader events anymore. It's not really super spreading. I think this is essentially a compromise so that all parties involved can benefit, and AEW can use this to launch their campaign to get back to full capacity.
Your thoughts, Kalika?
Well, I mean, they just saw UFC do 15,000 people, right? And so far, fingers crossed, no big issue. And then they just saw WWE do 25,000, along with the Super Bowl doing 20,000. So it's possible. Just being due diligent about it, and from a personal experience, when I did go to WrestleMania, they made everyone fill out their health screening forms via the app. So in order to even get in the building, you had to have filled that screening out. So I mean, they could do something similar to where they push an app where people have to fill it out prior to, and then, kind of like weaving it out a little bit. Is it 100% foolproof? Nothing is, but I mean, it won't hurt to get more people in, given if they are cautious with it. So,
But I could just imagine we get a story out of this. Somebody's going around in the crowd saying they got to check people's temperature, and they got to do it rectally. And then Tony Khan says, "We didn't hire anybody like that."
No, Billy Gunn, what the fuck
then
are you doing?
I apologize in advance then, if that's the case.
There's
I'm
no
sorry.
There's no apologizing for me.
I don't know how to transition from that. The taboo door is open once again. Jon Moxley will defend the IWGP United States Championship against Eugene Nagata on AEW TV. Is this a big deal, Scooter?
If it was, it's interesting because it's Yuji Nagata, but then again, I don't know how many people actually remember him competing in WCW, which would really make him the first full-time WCW competitor to appear on TNT after Sting. Well, or perform in the ring rather, because he also had to be Paul White.
Yeah.
And Chris Jericho, but we don't count Chris Jericho in this case, because his name really shot up in the WWE, not WCW. So if you want to argue with me on that, I will fight you, and then I will cut you. But Eugene Nagata. Oh, Eugene Nagata is also up there in age.
He's in his 50s, yes. He's probably
He's not
53, I believe.
53-year-old cruiserweight.
He's
He
not
ain't a cruiserweight anymore. Well, back when he was in WCW, he was competing in the cruiserweight division.
Well, so was Chris Jericho.
Is it good? Is it? I don't know. I'm not sure if people are gonna be interested. I mean, why Eugene Nagata?
He could get on a plane.
I mean, if that's the only reason, I mean, this is not.
Yeah.
It's not gonna get them what they wanted to get them.
What about you, Kaliko? Your thoughts?
I see where Scrooger's coming from on it. It's not intriguing. If it was Juice Robinson, I would have been all in on it. I felt like it would have been if it was somebody where it felt 50-50, it would have been more intriguing. Hell, give Kenta a rematch. Lance Archer, former in New Japan champ. So I mean, as much as it'll tickle the fans of those who know who he is, for the people who are casual watchers, it's like, who, right? And the whole point of even putting the IWGP US title in on the show is to highlight New Japan in general. And I would think you would want to put a up and coming guy in that role to showcase, holy hell, New Japan knows what, they got a guy here. Now, granted, UG has done it all, but the thing is, it's like the casual fan's going to look like Jon Moxley beating up on the senior citizen. You see what I'm saying?
What?
Instead of like, holy hell, I don't know who this Kenta guy is, but he sure can go. If they had to put that match on an AEW show, that would have been more intriguing than Nagata. Because the whole point of even putting New Japan in the first place is supposed to be a collaboration. And it seems like AEW been fisting this competition, as we will get into that later.
This also might be IWGP's way of getting around their own rules. I mean, yes, Moxley couldn't defend the title because of Force's outstanding, but now they can travel to Japan and whatnot. I think this is essentially a way of that championship forfeiture timer being reset, so that they could say he defended it and nobody can point out the fact that it's not being defended and force him to, call for him to forfeit the title.
I mean, but they had their bailout, though, because they took the title off of him and Lance Archer won. So they had the opportunity to keep it in-house. So this is a havoc of their own doing. This is, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
they didn't have to put it back on when they stripped him. I mean, it was kind of obvious what was going down. And hell, think of the run Kenta could have had with the belt if he had the belt, because he was over like Rover without it. Just think of him with it, and the whole point of you making that title was to make inroads in the United States market, and then you have a guy in Kenta who is a WWE, maybe not by name, but by face, he's a WWE recognizable guy, especially with NXT. So I don't feel the sympathy for the IWGP, because they had a choice and they made that choice. So don't give me this bending the rules bullshit when they could have just been like, okay, Mox, we got you next time when you come back. When shit goes down, you'll come back and get your shot.
No. What kind of, disregarding Eugene Nagata, do you think he actually has a shot? I mean, last time we were talking about Moxley, we were like, oh, he definitely can't win. It was Kenta for sure. Kenta has to do it, and then Kenta lost. Is this another swerve by New Japan?
No, because if that was the case, we were thinking Kenta was going to win due to the fact that eventually the belt has to come home. Like, the belt is Eliana Gonzalez, and New Japan is literally trying to get their baby back. I don't know if they care about getting their baby back, but it. I mean, if it happens, it's the biggest upset ever, and Yuji's gonna take it home. But what is he gonna do with it, right? Like, that's the biggest question that needs to be asked. Because it's, okay, Moxley lost. Then what? Now what? That's why I say Moxley's going to win.
Alright. I think that will conclude our news for this week.
Rogue Energy, the only gaming drink company in the world with 4 unique product lines to suit your task at hand, whether it be juices, shakes, smoothies, and everything else in between. Their low calorie, no sugar energy formula is the perfect alternative to sugar filled canned energy drinks and sodas. Their extreme formula provides the most energy, focus, and sports performance possible. Their hydration line offers focus, ingredients without the added caffeine. Drink it anytime you're thirsty. And their shake formula is so delicious. Who doesn't love a cookies and cream, 0-calorie energy milkshake? First and foremost, they've designed every Rogue product line with performance and effectiveness in mind. It is critical that you look at the nutrition panels of drinks when comparing options. There are countless off brands out there that are presenting low quality, poorly dosed formulas that amount to expensive caffeine water. Every formula they produce is designed with optimal levels of high quality ingredients. Additionally, you won't find a powdered gaming drink brand that dissolves better. No need to have chalky textures in your drink. Their taste profiles are unmatched, specifically designed for gamers, athletes, students, entrepreneurs, people with hectic schedules, individuals with low energy, podcasters who can't shut up, people who are health conscious, and so much more. Great as both a pre-workout and as a coffee energy drink replacement. Specifically designed every Rogue product line to be the best gaming drink on the planet. Rogue Energy, more focus, more wins.
Use promo code WrestlingWithE for 10% off your next purchase. And we are wrestling with Impact Wrestling's Rebellion review. It was last Sunday, and I felt like Impact, they have pretty solid paid previews that not a lot of people give them credit for. Am I wrong on that?
Yes and no.
Alright, well, let's get into it.
I wouldn't say you're wrong, but it was more about what happened at the end, more
was a
so than
one-match
the whole
card.
pay-per-view. It's always about the finish, haven't we learned?
Well, let's start from the beginning. Josh Alexander defeated Ace Austin and TJP to win the X Division Championship. I think this was the only match I predicted correctly. Josh Alexander, your new X Division champion. How's it gonna work, Scooter?
Oh God, I don't know. I mean, unless they're shaping it up for Alexander to defend Impact against AEW, and that they're gonna pull the Alexander versus Page card, Ethan Page. I know there's so many pages and cages, and we can't keep track anymore. But I mean,
Pages, cages, and bears. Oh my!
What about you, Kaliko? Is Josh Alexander going to be a good X Division champion?
He has no choice, considering he is the only singles champion left in the motherfucker. He has no choice. So
I mean, technically, he's the
that
only
is where
male champion. Besides, the only other champion is Deonna Purrazzo at this point.
yeah, and what I'm saying is, but the world titles is basically the flag. He's basically the only Impact guy flag bearer right now. So by de facto, he's the man. Because I don't see Kenny going there every week, but de facto, he's the guy. So he ain't got no choice at this point. Like it's literally do or die at this point for him to showcase why he's the man. And I would expect him to like come out and say that or act and be of character in that mold. Kind of like how when Miz was like, or who is it? I forgot when Brock left. You know, when Brock wasn't there, whoever had the secondary title was basically the de facto guy.
Yeah, that was the Miz for a lot of the time.
Yeah, for a while it was the
Nakamura.
Miz, then it was Seth, and then it was Dean, and or not Dean, but Finn, and yeah, so yeah.
Next match, Violent by Design, Joe Doring, Dino, and Rhino, with the debuting W. Morrissey, who is actually Big Cass from WWE, defeated Eddie Edwards, Willie Mack, James Storm, and Chris Sabin. Scooter, your thoughts on Morrissey debuting for Impact?
I am Morrissey and I'm depressed. It's because I never ever had sex. For those of you who don't know, that's how Morrissey, the actual singer, sings. Not those lyrics per se, but the fact he's calling himself W. Morrissey, I'm like, like, is his brain been concussed that much that he couldn't come up with a bigger name? I guess he can't be Cass XL, which in AEW that writes itself.
Oh, believe me, if he was in AEW, yeah.
Yeah, except the role of Enzo Amore is now being played by Eric Young.
What about you, Kaliko? What are your thoughts on W. Morrissey?
Could have came up with a better name. I mean, instead of Cass Excel, he could have been Cass PowerPoint. But oh, that joke. Oh, that I'm glad that hit. That hit hard. Anyways,
Well,
I'm just glad.
he is a one-note wrestler.
Oh, word.
Yes, word.
Who has access to the Impact Zone? Doo-doo. Come on,
we are great. We are making great teams under the azure skies.
Exactly. Oh my God. Anywho, back to the match.
We're going in 360 here.
Going 360. We're going 360. We need to go. we need to get off the edge and back to the topic.
Internet Explorer. All right.
Okay, we got all our dad Microsoft jokes. Anywho, I'm just glad to see him back. Honestly, I mean, back doing what he loves. Like, no matter how much people give him shit, whatever. But I'm glad he's back in a better place. Because I mean, considering he said he admits himself he was at a bad place, so I'm glad he's back doing what he loves to do. I wish they would came up with a better name than Morrissey, unless they, But at least he's back. And considering I'm gonna say I was wrong on this match, but I didn't expect him to come back because usually a team led by Rhino technically loses. So, I mean, I'm more disappointed in that theory being shot out the window than anything else.
Now, usually when a WWE guy debuts for, Impact, you kind of like shit on it because, oh, WWE guy, they're just taking their scraps. I kind of felt like it was a different case with Morrissey this time around because, as Kaliko said, he's had some issues and problems in the past, and hopefully this is maybe his opportunity to get back on that horse, so to speak. And
But it was also mainly because, unlike everyone else, he didn't immediately go to another promotion, right, and become WWE guy.
right,
That's why. Like
Well,
he got released in what, 2018?
he
So
got really shortly after his the Money in the Bank pay-per-view against Daniel Bryan.
which was when? Like 2018, 20
Yeah.
like roughly
Yeah,
around that time, right?
Yeah, just after this
So
Saudi Arabia, the
yeah,
Great Royal Rumble.
yeah. So for him, it doesn't seem that way because he was gone for 3 years. So essentially, 3 years, it seems short, but in wrestling, that's a long time, though. In entertainment, 3 years is like forever. So for him to come back, it doesn't feel like a WWE guy because he didn't do what Eric Young and them did and just left, got cut, and then went straight in. You see what I'm saying?
right.
He will always be the guy that got knocked the hell out by my former trainer, Pat Buck. A guy significantly smaller than him.
Well, is this the path for Morrissey's redemption? Yes or no, Scooter?
No.
Kaliko.
Is he going to make an impact or be a champion? No, not now.
He should have gone to Japan.
All right. The next match.
Yeah, because Japan loved those big dudes. Like they love big motherfuckers. He could have made money in Japan. You right. Japan, he would have been like the white Bob Sapp.
Next match. Brian Myers defeated Matt Cardona. That was a thing on the show.
I couldn't watch. This was heartbreaking.
Yeah. Jordan Grace and Rachel Eldering defeated the Knockout Tag Team Champions Fire and Flavor to win the championships themselves. The team that had Fire in the name lost. What happened, Kaliko?
I guess they lost their desire because you need because you need desire along with fire. Shout out Rick James. Anywho's, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess they're trying to do the whole anything can happen thing because I find it odd that they're the first tag champs. They lose on their second defense. And then you get right after when Raquel and Dakota became champs, and they lose it the first night. So it's kind of like it's like they both lost on their first defense type shit, and that does nothing for the chip. I mean, to be quite honest.
And let's not forget that Rachel Ellering, this was supposed to be some big surprise, and it turned out to be Rachel Ellering. Not that surprising. She's been in Impact before. I mean, it's they honestly they probably would have had a better response if they just announced her beforehand.
They did. She came on the week before.
Thought this was supposed to be a mystery. Thought it was Jordan Grace and a mystery partner
No.
listed.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Whatever. No one cares.
Next match, Trey Miguel defeated Sami Callihan in a last man standing match. They're heavy on Miguel, aren't they, Scooter?
Yep. They are very heavy. I mean, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if Trey told MSK to go to WWE so he could get this mega push. The idea of putting stock in the person who decided to stay is always something, but when that guy didn't really have much stock to begin with, it loses something in the translation. I mean, where does Trey go from here? It ain't gonna be Trey Miguel versus challenging for the Impact Championship.
It might.
Trey Miguel.
The hell it will. The hell it will.
Yeah. If Trey Miguel gets an Impact title match, I promise, I will blind myself in one eye.
Well, that's not fun. Do something fun instead.
All right. I will finally pay my child support. No,
It only seems fun for your baby mama.
No, I'll call your mother back. No,
Fuck you.
I will get a tattoo that says Trey Miguel rocks on my ass.
Alright, you heard it here first on Wrestling with Entertainment. Trey Miguel versus Kenny Omega. Scooter Dust will get Trey Miguel rocks on his ass.
He also has to win the title.
That's not what you said.
We didn't finalize it yet.
Oh, now you're backtracking and you know it. You're backpedaling.
Really, Mr. Mania Madness?
Well, I won that fair and square.
I'm talking about the draw.
Hey, it was those rules were not specified, so I made the audible.
And I just made an audible.
Damn it! All right, Kaliko, your thoughts.
I'll tell you what. Okay, you know what? We'll make this even more interesting. If he gets a title shot, I will. If he gets a title shot at all against Kenny, I will get the name Trey tattooed. If he lasts more than 10 minutes, I will get Trey Miguel tattooed. If he wins the title, I will get the entire tattoo Trey Miguel rocks.
That sounds like a plan to me. It shall be written, so let it be done. Kaliko, Trey Miguel, Sami Callihan, your thoughts.
Well, don't wait. Don't hold your breath on that tattoo. It ain't happening. But
I know.
It just felt like Impact was like, take that, MSK, as MSK is main eventing NXT with Kushida. And I'm like, all right. Is that what they want to do? That's fine. But like I said, what title is there for him to gain off of? The X Division? So he's going to go from being the former World Heavyweight Champion to going to the X Division.
Well, there were the rumors of the TNA brand being resurrected.
Oh God! Well, didn't they give that Kenny has the belt, right? The TNA Heavyweight and Impact Championship.
He
So
does.
I missed that point. Like, what the fuck? He's got both the bitches.
Yes.
So
What?
even if they do rebrand, he got the goddamn strap. So there goes that argument.
Alright, Impact Tag Team Championship match. Finn Juice defeated the Good Brothers to retain. Kaliko, I'm sure you have something to say about this.
I, eh, I guess I don't know. I don't know. Is Finju still with New Japan? Like I'm just trying to figure this out. Like, because if he's with Impact for good, it makes sense because they fucked him cleanly in New Japan. Because they did all that investment with him and Cody for him to do it, and then him and Moxley was supposed to be away, and then, oh no, we're just gonna stick with Moxley. So if this is him staying with Impact for good because they believe in him, I'm all for it.
Well,
But where the fuck does
Yeah.
But where the hell does Gallows and Anderson go from here? Because you lose the titles, you lose a rematch. It doesn't really spell good things after that.
So, Scooter, can we finally take Finn Juice seriously as a tag team?
Yes, and I will gladly drive my endo sipping on Finn and Juice.
And
With my mind on my money and my money on my mind. You thought I was going to let that slide?
Knockouts Championship match. Deonna Purrazzo defeated Tenille Dashwood to retain. Kaliko,
I already told y'all. I told y'all. You knew my stance. I mean, to me, Tenille is just like, she's a talent. Don't get me wrong. She's a talent. And I'm going to ride with that talent to the Tanish dash would fall off. I don't care. I don't care. Because I think she is that capable. I mean, it ain't like she's doing the Emma thing anymore. So to me, I mean, hell, I'm gonna ride it. Fuck it. I got your back, Tennille. I got your back.
I think Kaliko already has Tenille Dashwood rocks tattooed somewhere on his body.
I
Oh
mean,
no, the wifey will not like that. But
if that's the deal, does this make Kaliko the captain?
I mean, ride
Will
it till the
love,
dash would fall off. I mean,
will love keep them together?
love will keep us together. I feel like me being with on in the Dashwood corner is like living on a prayer.
Bon Jovi?
Nah, Madonna.
But you only get about
That's like a prayer.
Like a prayer, living on a prayer.
There's a lot of
Too
prayers
legit
going
to
into
quit.
Tenille Dashwood winning the championship.
I was about to say it's like living on a prayer, except you only get a quarter of the way there.
I mean, it is. But oh well, ride it till the wheel fall off. Cause I believe in her abilities. That's just me. But
Scooter, anything you want to add to this?
Absolutely not.
Okay. AEW World Championship match. No. AEW champion Kenny Omega defeated Impact World Champion Rich Swann in a title
and
versus
TNA
title match.
and TNA champion.
And
Rich
TNA
Swann.
champion to win the Impact and TNA championship. Mauro Ronaldo was on commentary.
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo.
There's
He's
an
not the
R in
soccer
it, so it's
player.
not. I'm not going to pronounce it properly. So
Yeah, except you're pronouncing it L as a D.
Mauro Lanaro.
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo. Yeah.
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo. Bowser.
Bingo.
All right, so I think we all knew that this was going to happen.
Yes,
Look,
we did.
let's talk about Ronaldo for a moment. Always great
What?
commentary. He recently
You did
said
that on
that
purpose.
he his spark has reignited for his wrestling career. You see Ronaldo doing commentary for Impact again?
No, but I see Mauro Ronaldo doing it again.
Oh, fuck you. You know, those
I'm
people.
sorry. Every time I hear Ronaldo, I think Cristiano Ronaldo,
Yeah. Cristiano Ronaldo. Hey.
the most popular celebrity on Instagram.
Okay.
It's not
Um,
Messi? What?
Nope.
Wow. Well, maybe because of that chin. People love that chin.
So,
I mean, if I'm Tony Khan, I'm trying to get him. I don't know what good Mauro Ronaldo would be on Impact.
True. Because I feel like Mauro he's always been a boxer MMA guy. And the one thing that he hated about announcing with wrestling was the hectic road schedule. Boxing and MMA, yeah, they got some crazy schedules, but it's not as hectic as wrestling.
it's not
And
weekly.
yeah, so it gives him time to relax and energize and do his thing. Because I watch boxing too, so, and he used to do Bellator for a hot minute.
He still does.
So I
He still does.
thought what's
I
his face came there.
I watched him call a Bellator event on Showtime last week.
Really? Because I thought the other guy came back. The ex-UFC guy. I forgot his damn name. Who used to be with Joe Rogan, but whatever. But yeah, he's always been that type of guy. I felt like his style fit that more so. Because there's breaks in between, and he doesn't feel like he has to like
Bring him in for the
constantly
big
go
matches.
hard. Right. I mean, I wouldn't see Mauro. I mean, his best was takeovers.
Yes.
His worst was SmackDowns, and there's a reason. And I'm not saying that worst is in like his worst performance, but just energy. You could read his energy. But no, he should stick with boxing and MMA because he feels more comfortable there. The people at Showtime give him leeway, and he'll be happier. He's happier there, obviously. But let's get to this match.
All right. Let's get into it. Kenny Omega won. Not a surprise.
Yeah.
What's going to happen?
I just feel bad for Rich because the moment when Kenny came, I was like, Rich Swann's about to get fucked. And Rich Swann got fucked. I knew it. I just was like,
Yep.
right when they give him like this reign and his story, bro, is like, ugh. And now the question is, where does he go from here, right? Does he get a rematch? Maybe. I doubt it. And even if the rematch happens, Kenny kind of is going to weasel his way to the win. The question is, who's going to be the guy to take the belt off Kenny? That is the biggest question of all. Because by virtue of Kenny coming in and winning the title, with only one match, mind you, literally shows that he's basically better than that whole entire roster. Now, the only person who might have issue to say about that is a Moose. But I feel like Moose and Swan got some shit to finish.
Moose and Swan.
Swan Moose. Ha ha. But
Moose and Squirrel.
but I feel like they got some shit to finish. So it's now he's gonna have the belt for at least a minimum of 3 to 5 months. Easy.
Well, the next pay-per-view
Easy.
was June? July?
But that don't mean his ass gonna be there.
For pay-per-views, I would think so, yeah. I mean, he was on the last
Shit.
pay-per-view.
Man. Bruh. I feel like this thing is not working for Impact, considering the fact that I've seen Kenny Omega on that show more than I've seen Rich Swann on the other show. I've seen more Impact stars, meaning Gallows and Anderson. Them the only two that are on AEW. Who in the hell is supposed to step up and be a challenger without going to that backyard and starting some shit? Is my question.
Fair
Who?
enough.
Who? Who?
I mean, only one name comes to mind, and he's never going to do it. Joe.
I mean, he was in the promo, the video package for Slammiversary.
Joe gonna come back and be like, I smell some bitches up in here. That's what he gonna do. That's the first thing he should say. I smell bitches up in here. And then proceed to whoop everybody's ass.
So, is Impact kind of just rolling over for AEW at this point, giving Kenny Omega their championship? Scooter?
At this point, we might have to call the police and report a sexual assault at this point. Because they are having their way with Impact, and Impact is just lying there like a dead fish.
That's a good point.
Yep, call CPS because they getting that ass beat.
Now, yeah, it's basically who's going to be the guy that takes the championship off Kenny Omega, or does Kenny just relinquish the championship at some point?
I think Kenny snaps his fingers and he makes Impact disappear.
Was they ever really there to begin with?
I mean, everybody's been comparing Kenny to Thanos.
I mean, they gave Kenny Omega their championship. What did it cost them?
I mean, we see Kenny going after, the other Infinity Stones. I mean,
it cost him not a damn thing. That's what it cost him. Shit, he kicked in the dough and pulled a Rick James and was like, fuck your couch. I'm taking this belt and I'm out this motherfucker. And Impact was like, okay. But eventually, I mean, this is the Impact that they're low. When is it going to be a rise?
Who knows?
I mean, at this point, I'm expecting Skyway Studios to burn down and for Impact to try and collect the insurance money at this point, because that's what it seems like. It's a fire sale at this point. I mean, everything must go. If one of the next 2 or 3 Impact pay-per-views is not titled "Going Out of Business," I would be surprised.
That would be the Trey Miguel Kenny Omega match.
Yeah, probably.
And with that, we will conclude our coverage of Impact Wrestling Rebellion. Join us next week as we talk things and stuff. Hopefully, next week will be more eventful. Should be, though. I mean, we're in this crazy world called pro wrestling.
I mean, we will have to talk about the fact that as of last night, Daniel Bryan is no longer a part of SmackDown.
It's going to Raw.
Who knows at this point?
We'll talk about it next week. If you like what we're doing, please like, subscribe, comment, vote on YouTube and Castbox. Join us this Wednesday as we interview Mama Shango. And of course, this episode was sponsored by Rogue Energy. Use promo code WRESTLINGWITHE for 10% off your next purchase. Follow the show at Wrestling with E, both on Twitter and Instagram for all your wrestling with entertainment needs. And follow us individually as well. Follow me at JamesG993. Where can they find Kaliko?
You can find me looking for an X-ray machine to find Impact Spine at I Am Kaliko.
And Scooter Dust.
You can find me being the outcry witness for Impact Wrestling's assault, and you can find me on social media on Twitter at ScooterDust and holding it down for the UMB network at UMBS Wrestling.
For Kaliko Yachts, Scooter Dust, I'm James Shea, and this has been Wrestling with Entertainment.
Hey folks, this is the Colossal Mike Law, and you are listening to Wrestling with Entertainment. Enjoy the show, support these guys. We appreciate it very much. We'll see you at ringside.